In this video help tutorial, we're going to start out by working in the Project Management Project Main screen for the application Project Management Universal 5. We're going to start by looking at the reference information and give you a little background as far as some of the things about project management that would be very helpful for you to learn. When you click on the reference button at the top of the screen, it's going to open to the Project Management Reference screen. You can add records in this screen. This is one of the few screens where we actually do add additional records. What this screen is for and what it was created for is it addresses what is project management. For example, there are different records you can view. In this case, this one is project management from a Wikipedia, understanding the process. And what happens, this is a PDF file that was copied from Wikipedia and put into this application where it explains how to do and how to prepare a project. Now, if you're in an organization that is new to project management, this would be very helpful. But there's one thing you need to understand about this project management application is that the application itself or the reference information is a guide. It's not the absolute way to do project management. It's very helpful, but there are many different ways to do project management. As you'll find out if you do research, for example, in the United States, we have our own approach for doing things. For example, if you go to Europe, like the UK, for example, and look at how they prepare their projects and run their projects, it could be quite different. But basically, all the applications that are out there that are being used would in some way be addressed in this PDF file. Now, what I've done is I've added this particular reference. And if I go over here and I look at the list view for this application, which is this button right here, you can see that I've got one reference in here. You can add additional references and more information as you want to for your own education by go ahead and opening your browser, go into the browser and do a search for project management. Once you've created or found the information that you're looking for, go ahead and put the URL or the link to that particular page on the browser. Add that here, and if you want to review it and go back to it, you could click this button here. It'll open up the browser to this particular information that has been put into this screen. It's titled up here. It tells you where the reference came from, and then it gives you a little bit about what's going to be covered here. Now, this is a scrolling screen text field right here, and what happens, you can put an infinite number of information in this particular screen. Now, what's kind of nice is you'll find out if you want to look into any of the information here, you can do what we call a find. If you go up to a find and you say start a search by adding a text thing, and we'll just do that. Let's say start a search. You can see it changes these items to magnifying glasses to look for information. If you want to look for anything in these fields, you just pick one of the fields, one or more, with the exception of you can't go into the PDF file itself and view it and edit it or find information. So those are excluded. In most cases, what I've done is put a color light blue in there so you'll know that they're not usable as far as going into the information and searching for things. In addition to that, portal records, which are multi-line rows of information, cannot be searched because there's multiple records within the portal. We're looking for a single record. So if I wanted to put something in here and say, for example, I put in project, the word, even though this is a very large area where you can put a lot of data, you would find every record in the database or databases in the application that included that field right here. It says reference comment that had the word project in it. If I go back up over here and I say perform the search, you can see that I'll get the one record that's in there because project is one of the words in there right there. So if you wanted to do a reference thing where you had the word Wikipedia and you needed to find it, you can always just, since it's a non-common word, you can just highlight it, copy it, and when you copy it, now I can do a search and I can just throw it right in here, and you can see that it'll pick a word or less than a word. For example, if I just put wiki and did the search for it, it would bring that up because it's part of that word. So obviously it brings the information back up. Let me point out that if you want to delete or view the record in a little different fashion. You could delete this file that's in here if that's not any longer needed or it's been updated. Or what you can do is you can pick to zoom in and out, or you want to see the whole entire document on the screen. You can click this record, and what it does is it brings up, and I'll try to put it over here so you can see it all. It brings up the entire thing so it's easier to read and you can see the images a lot easier. How do you add a document like this in here? You can, on the desktop, you can drag it into this field and it'll add it. On the browser, when you're on the cloud, all you have to do is open up the link that's on the screen and say you're going to put something in or add it to it. What'll happen is if you click on it, it'll bring in the data as far as dropping it into the field. So it's simply a thing of looking up where it is on your desktop or where it's located in the application, maybe on the screen or something like. You can bring it in right here into this record. And like I said, you can delete it if you need to. And if you want to save a copy of the PDF, you can, to put on the screen, you would click Save Copy, and it would save a copy to the screen. In most cases, a file that has got a extension called .pdf can be added to this field very easily. Okay, to add a new record, that's the one thing we didn't cover. If you want to add a new record, you click on the Add button, and that would bring up the new record. The App Map button up here in the corner is a navigation for this application, and any of these screens in the application you can access, including reports and information like that. You can put into that is put into here. You can go into those screens and edit them. I'm going to be showing you a way to be able to click on anything and open up any one screen in the application. For example, the first one is video tutorials. The one you're viewing right now, when you start in the application, you would go to the screen for the video tutorials, and we'll cover that singularly later on. Project management items, for example, would be listed first, because these are things where you're gathering data and setting up the application to take in project management information. And these all the way down to the bottom are included in that. Then project planning, and so forth down through all these screens. Now you can click on any screen in here on this button that you read this, for example, project drawings, and it would take you to that particular input screen. In this case, the ones that are blue, see blue, and then the gray is the difference between them is this is the main screen for project drawings. This is its portal, and then there's a list view for it, and I'll be explaining what those are as we progress through the tutorials. Over here, these special screens are used for the work orders, proposal reports, and all the different kinds of reports that are included in the application. So as you go down through these, you'll see, including a work order invoice, these are the reporting kind of things in the application. The one up here at the top of the screen is the home calendar, and I'll explain what the calendar is in the next videos. But basically, it is a way to add a schedule of many different things, and we'll talk about that in a calendar format where you can schedule and then view them and control them from that particular calendar. Okay, now that we are done with this screen, we're going to be moving over to the next one, and I'm going to explain what that is. We will go to the video help tutorials, and then we'll go to the project management meeting or marketing screen. And basically what this screen is, you'll see it's colored differently than every other screen button in here. This is the main screen where you add new projects and manage projects from that one screen. As we go through the screen and one of the next videos, you're going to realize that all these screens are actually supporting the main project marketing screen. So that's what we'll be discussing in the next videos. Okay, let's stop here, and then we'll go to the next video, which is Video Help Tutorials. Thank you.